And so, here we are again. Year 2 of the 12 Titans tournament. An event where the best players on Earth will compete head-to-head for a chance to become the last Titan standing. For those of you who were here last year, welcome back. For those who are joining us for the first time, welcome. We are glad that you can join us this year. Now, unlike other events, this entire tournament will consist of only 11 best-of-1 matches. The first 4 of these 11 matches will be considered round 1, also known as the Pit. Players who lose in this round will be the first to exit the tournament, while those who win their match will proceed to round 2. The round of the Gatekeepers. The Gatekeepers are the 4 most elite Titans to enter this tournament. They have proven themselves in the 1 versus 1 arena over the past year, and carry a pedigree which attributes to them a near legendary status. The winners of the Gatekeeper matches will then continue on to the final 4. And then, lastly, the final match. When all is said and done, 11 Titans will have walked away empty-handed, and 1 will be crowned the champion. The winner of this tournament will be someone who not only has the ability to consistently defeat world-renowned opponents, but also someone who has the ability to overcome their own mind. That being said, let us move on to round 1. The Pit. By far the least desirable place to be in this tournament. Lose a game, and you're the first to go. Win a game and come face to face with a gatekeeper on your way out. Simply participating in this round decreases your chance of winning the tournament. But perhaps someone here has what it takes. In our first match, we have 2 players with very different stories coming into this tournament. The first of which is a newcomer. While keeping out of the lights of large events, this player has managed to dominate the world of 1 versus 1 ranked play from his home, doing so by maintaining his place in the top 10 of the global leaderboards for a large majority of the year. An impressive accomplishment, to say the least. The only question is, will Ocelon's ranked skills translate well against the experience of world-class competitors? This will not take long to find out. Across the pitch from Ocelon, we have a player who nearly defines what it means to be world-class. Although not known for his ability in the 1 versus 1 arena, he is known as the only 2-time world champion in all of professional Rocket League. This is Turbo Pulsar.
First round matchup, we're going to be having Turbo Pulsar versus Ocelon.
Yeah, Turbo Pulsar coming in here as the player with vastly greater experience than his opponent, who is definitely the favorite in the 1's arena, however.
Yep, Ocelon has much more time to commit to a particular style of game mode, whilst Turbo Pulsar more of a jack of all trades. Certainly known throughout the world as one of the top players. As Ocelon trying to just find his way around. And for you right now, Johnny, that's actually a terrible start. I was going to say Ocelon needs to start well. That's not starting well.
Yeah, that's very tentative from Ocelon. He's afraid to go over the top of Turbo Pulsar, trying to go for a low 50-50, and Turbo just dunks it right over the top of him. Great start for the 2-time world champion, and Ocelon, nervous beginnings.
Well, he's not only taking on Turbo Pulsar, he's taking on Turbo Pulsar's name and everything that comes with. Ocelon's going to take his time yet again. Needs to do better this time around. He has actually put it quite far along. Still very hesitant. He doesn't want to make any major mistakes.
This is very much what I expected to see from Ocelon. He is an extremely solid player, but he can be nervous at times, and he doesn't, trust himself to go for those crazy outplays that we know he's capable of. Is he going to bring it out in the best of one versus Turbo?
Well, another big challenge win from Turbo. Followed up shot. Maybe a little bit late, and as Ocelon can come through and take the ball back over yet again. Still challenging. I actually quite like this from Ocelon. He needs to keep the pace up, not give himself any time to think.
This is actually dangerous, so Turbo loves this type of gameplay where it's back and forward, not too many kickoffs. That is the style of game he wants, and Ocelon is going to tie it though. Good placement on the shot. It didn't take much time either.
Big challenge. Set himself up for the follow-up shot. Lovely placement. Put it low and to the corner, and Turbopolsa simply just can't reach it.
A very good placement there by Ocelon. That's exactly what he needed. Is he going to be brave from this point onwards? Is that all he needed to be confident? Great recovery there by Turbo. It looked for a moment like Ocelon was going to get his second goal there.
Turbo can transition, plays the ball long. Ocelon can actually control and turn. Turbo almost managed to bait him out entirely. Boost control over to Ocelon. Can catch and attempt to follow. Turbo's got to be very, very careful because Ocelon was playing around with his food.
That just looks so bouncy on top of the car there from Ocelon. Not as much control as we're used to seeing from him. And again, not the fastest flick. Ocelon can rip those 100km/h flicks like nobody's business. But today is a different day. This is the biggest stage he's ever played on. The most pressure he's ever been under, no doubt. And right now, it's not going badly, but it could be going better.
Well, Turbopolsa seems happy to defend throughout this series, as he's waiting for Ocelon to almost play himself and make that mistake. Might be cause to concern should Ocelon start to really feel himself get back to his core and his mechanics that we just know he can perform so incredibly well. Ocelon tries to take out Turbo, but just can't quite nab the touch.
This is so close. Turbopolsa for over half the game has kept this tied up. Ocelon with a huge mind game, though, is going to take the lead. What a way to take an absolutely incredible play into the net from Ocelon.
We were questioning his confidence. No more. Ocelon rips the heart away from the two-time champion. And that will give him the lead heading into the second half of this matchup. Now maybe off the kickoff, he's going to lay it into the middle of the net. But Turbopolsa yet again quick to recover.
Finally has a possession of his own. He goes for a flick. It's way too high though. Gets a great trip on the exit onto Ocelon, or it would have been trouble. Turbopolsa desperately needed more possession. Possession has been dominated by the Dutchman up until this point.
Yeah, but you can see Turbo, he's finally figured out that Ocelon is here and he is capable of taking the win. Much more aggressive. Can turn the ball towards the net. Outpacing and will tie us up.
And no doubt takes the game to the one aspect where he will be the better of the two players significantly. That is the aerial game. Even low aerials in a 1v1 situation can be so dangerous and tricky to execute, but Turbo nails it. 2-2, and this is going all the way down to the wire. Ocelon, good kickoff though. Might be able to set up a chance for himself. Oh, he's just hit the post. Disaster for Ocelon. Turbo gets away with murder.
Ocelon has had 3 major kickoff wins. He's converted absolutely stone cold. None of them, but he will convert with a powerful shot from the midfield.
His shots are not letting him down, and that is a big deal. Volley from almost the halfway line. Turbo had boost there, but he just was not positioned correctly. Didn't expect Ocelon perhaps to shoot that on the volley. Good mix-up though from the player in blue. Decided to shoot that before the bounce. Caught Turbo off guard.
You mentioned at the beginning, this is Ocelon's biggest match of his entire career as a Rocket League player. He's now towards the tail end of the match. He's going to have himself a 2-goal lead if he can turn it in.
Oh,
and he
my
has!
goodness.
He is stepping up to the pressure.
Turbo may have pre-jumped this. Ocelon with the slow play. I can't imagine Turbo thought that was going to get into the net that slowly. I think Ocelon was just placing it. He's just taking his time, and he got Turbo completely off guard with another, I'd say, accidental mind game. But hey, he's got the 2-goal lead. Now he just needs to hold on to it.
Finally, for once, the kickoff going for Turbo. He's basically given the possession straight back over to Ocelon, who will happily launch long Turbo looking all over the
save.
place, but does get there in time to turn away what could have been a fatal deficit in scoreline.
But Ocelon's just never going to concede these shots. These long shots by Turbo are just not going to catch Ocelon off guard like Ocelon's did. In fact, he's going to concede on the counter attack. 5-2. And now Turbo has just about a minute remaining to bring back a 3-goal lead. And he's just not had many chances this game. I don't think it's looking likely, but you never know. He's the 2-time world champion for a reason. Is he going to step up and show us why? In the final 55 seconds, it's now or never.
He's got another kickoff to go his way. He's also picked up a boost. Ocelon has got to get there in time.
Good save.
Another phenomenal stop. And he will take control of the ball yet again. Turbo is the one that needs to react, and he does.
Boost control, though, from Ocelon. He's got the possession. He's got all that he needs to run down the clock, and he's playing it smart. He's got the possession in his own back corner, baiting Turbo towards him. He's just refusing to give him the possession. Look at the flick from distance. Turbo has to keep it out above his own crossbar. But this is only 20 seconds, still 3 goals behind. It does not look likely.
Ocelon is tormenting his opponent as he heads into the final few seconds of the match. So tentative to start us off, but now as we head towards the tail end, a major contender for the rest of the tournament.
Excellent control by Ocelon. Ran down the clock. Exactly what you needed to do. And that is the end of the tournament run for the 2-time world champion, just as soon as it begun.
Ocelon has taken down the 2-time world champion. But there is not time for celebration, as his journey has only just begun. On to the next match. Much like the last match and the others to come in this round, we have 2 players with very different backgrounds. The first has earned his way into this tournament through the European qualifier, a tournament structured much like this one, which allowed one player from the European region to earn his status as a Titan and enter this tournament. Clay X did this in convincing fashion, proving that he has the strong mind necessary to compete in this rigorous format. As a seasoned veteran of the game and a long-time professional player at the highest levels of play, Fairy Peak has made his presence known in the world of Rocket League. That presence carries over just as strongly into the Ones arena as he effortlessly found his way to the top of the leaderboards in preparation for this event. Now we will see if he can finish the task.
Now time for our second match of the tournament. It is going to be Clayex, the 11th Titan himself, against Fairy Peak.
Yes, Clayex had one of the most incredible individual efforts that we've ever seen in the history of Rocket League 1v1 to make it through that bracket. Not just winning, but emphatically. And this is his reward, to play against one of the greatest players of all time, Fairy Peak. Off to a good start though. No kickoff goal conceded so far. In control of the possession and the boost. Decent little start here for the Spaniard, but we all know better than to doubt Fairy Peak. In the Octane today, the only player perhaps in this tournament who might be changing out cars at any given time, he's decided to start off with the low dribble. Good save though by Clayex. Has the long shot opportunity, and he will secure that easily into the middle of the open net.
Yeah, very smart from Clayex. Didn't give himself too much to do, and instead took a couple of touches to ensure of the goal. Fairy Peak never able to get back in time, and that will give Clayex a wealth of confidence.
And with Clayex being one of the 2 qualifiers to the 12 Titans 2018, he is perhaps half of the upset, or if he wins here, that'll be a huge upset. The only other huge upset would be, of course, Sharif in his match. Clayex off to a phenomenal start, just about a minute gone. Fairy Peak again firing low with the shot and again misses.
Start retreating back. Both players have plenty of boost. Fairy Peak has room to work with, however. It's interesting to see how Clayex wants to try and take this on. He's going to basically invite Fairy Peak to play.
Oh.
Might be a major mistake. You never want to give the Frenchman that sort of room.
It wasn't the best dribble by Fairy Peak, very linear, but ClayX expecting something a bit more towards the top corner. Pre-jumped a little bit too far, and Fairy Peak is always going to be quick on that recovery. Slaps it in for the equalizer, and now it's right back to where ClayX started. Uphill battle from a tie game.
Does win the challenge, can follow up, but the ball is just almost tormenting him, not allowing it to come back down to the floor, as ClayX is betrayed by gravity itself.
There's not quite enough boost to go up for that one. At 30 peak. Tracked pretty close. He's got to be careful because ClayX over the top of him and into the open net yet again. It's so rare to see Fairy getting taken by surprise. Just shows how fast ClayX is playing.
ClayX timed that near frame perfect, as Fairy was just that close to taking the wheels out from underneath him. But a 1-goal lead reinstated, just over 90 seconds has been played. Fairy Peak keeps losing these kickoffs. It's something we're seeing quite often from these less established players, that they are very good at the kickoff.
ClayX is going to do a great plan now. Dribbles it back, wasting precious time, of course, in the best of one. This is exactly how you want to play. Frustrate the opponent, and he is doing just that right now. Just about misses his flick, though. And that might bring Fairy back into the game. He's going to take to the air. Again, we talked about this in the Turbo vs Ocelon match. If there's going to be one aspect of the game where the 1 versus 1 mains are going to fall short, it might be the aerial battle. And will we see more of that from Fairy as the match progresses?
Fairy's been very happy so far to smash rather than try and take control. This time smashing it off the wall. Oh! And tell you what, if we want to talk about smashes, that one is more important than any other we've seen so far.
And again, another low-scoring game reaching halftime. Clay, again, another missed flick. Still, though, in the lead by 1. Got to be careful of the revenge demo. Fairy
I don't think Fairy's happy at all.
He's looking for that revenge demo. Wants to tie this sooner rather than later. We're over halftime now, and the underdog, the qualifier, is standing toe-to-toe with one of the best players in the world, one of the most feared players in the first round here. Not only that, he's hanging on to a lead and threatening at the other end.
Using to settle on this 1-goal lead. Fairy Peak got time. ClayX tried to take boost. Levers it up top. Fairy Peak shooting is getting better with every passing moment.
And you can just see the fear in ClayX as he waits for the shot to come in. He's on the wall, on the ground, doesn't know when Fairy's going to shoot that volley or half volley, because if I'm going to pick one player in the world to shoot a ball from a volley just before it bounces, Fairy Peak's my man. He has probably got the ability to generate more power than anybody in that stage of the game. We saw it right there. Just letting it drop, ripping it as it rises again. Oh, ClayX could have had one there, but he's hit the post. Can't let those opportunities go away.
Oh, playing very steady here. Fairy Peak starting to make ClayX look very nervous. Now, taking the ball by himself. Can try and steal the boost. This Fairy Peak is finally back as they just chase one another. ClayX can turn it in. Oh, what a save there from Fairy Peak. We remain all tied up.
Can't believe ClayX is taking this all the way. He's playing phenomenal Rocket League. I really did not expect this, despite his incredible run through the qualifier. This is something else, and the other post denies him as well. Fairy Peak hanging on by a thread. We're still tied up. ClayX still shadowing Fairy, matching his every movement. And he's got to try and put those misses out of his mind. He's got to try and forget about those, because Fairy Peak is coming back, and he's got the lead for the first time.
A frustrated mistake from ClayX.
Oh my goodness.
Goes right past the ball, and Fairy Peak has got no other option but to finish off the goal. ClayX now has 1 minute to calm himself down, get the goal, and claw his way back into the match, and that kickoff could very well help.
Kickoff still going well, but was saved by Fairy on the recovery. ClayX has got to be thinking this might not be his day, and with that shot going over his shoulder, is that just too much to ask for the newcomer?
ClayX is going to be looking at the scoreboard right now and saying, I should have like 5 or 6 at this point in time, but instead he is stuck with 2 against Fairy Peak's 4, and time is not on his side at all. Fairy Peak with a huge kickoff win as well. That's going to do even more damage.
Clay looking for the bump, doesn't get it. Now Fairy's got the boost advantage. Clay going to play this one close to his own heart though. Oh, he's just going to get bullied off it. Fairy Peak is not going to take any prisoners in the final 30 seconds. And this is just great positional play now by Fairy. bringing Clay towards him so that he can create space to launch the ball over the top of. We need to see a goal right now from Clay, or this might be the end of the series, the end of the best of one. And Fairy Peak is going to make it 3. Is that too much for Clay?
I don't think there's ever been a game that could better describe the 12 Titans tournament. You have one chance to take down your opponent. If you cannot take them, then you get punished just like this. Clayx has had a great performance, but I think this is just too much to ask now.
After those inside of the post misses and Fairy Peak saving absolutely everything, it was just too much for him to come back for. Now Fairy Peak just going to go out into the second round with a statement for whoever awaits him. This man, we said he was one of the most feared players in this tournament coming in from the first round. And this is why. Things like this. The ability to pull out a montage play after making saves at the other end.
Clayx will want to try and take at least something towards the end, but he is now out and removed from the tournament.
In a quite convincing manner, Fairy Peak kept his composure and eliminated the newcomer. But he knows as well as we do that there is plenty more work ahead. Up next, we have one of the oldest faces in Rocket League meeting one of the newest. Here we have the newcomer. Although he has had some experience with team play, his standout abilities belong to the Ones arena. Having won several high-profile Ones matches this past year, Flores has begun to make a name for himself. Combining that with his constant presence in the top 10 of the global leaderboards, it really seems that he would have all the skills necessary to do well in this tournament. But before that is even considered, he will need to overcome one of the old legends of the game. That, of course, is Marky Duda, who served as captain of the legendary squad Flipside Tactics when they won the Season 2 World Championship. Known for his intelligence and leadership abilities, Marky holds the skills necessary for victory in this tournament. The only question is if he will unleash them.
It is now about to be a battle between two separate Rocket League generations. Flores versus Marky Duda.
Can the apprentice surpass the master as Marky, one of the original 1v1 legends in Rocket League? Flores really only making a name for himself at the beginning of 2017. Now 2018 comes around, he wants to cement that legacy.
Marky has had control for the majority of our opening few phases of play.
Good save though.
Flores is able to get in the way. Now can he get there in time? Is Marky Duda just trying to suffocate him out? Be eventually forced to retreat.
It's going to be a battle of attrition. Flores, the control that he's showing us here, inspired by Marky Duda, his opponent. The player that he's up against is the player who really inspired him to play that grounded style, and look at that from Flores, just disgusting control. Certainly one aspect of the game where he is head and shoulders above Marky Duda.
What a flick that was. Marky has no idea how to react to that, and to be honest, there is no way to react to that. The moment you are stuck on the goal line and that flick comes out, Flores is in complete control of the situation, and now that one goal lead, he is in control of the match. But how long will it last for as Marky takes the shot? Flores there in time.
Classic Marky Duda there, stepping forward, refusing to back down, but Flores quick on the counter-attack. The style that prevented Marky back in the day when Scrubkilla elevated and became the #1 with the counter-attacking play style into the power shot is being shown to us here by Flores. He is such a smart player, not just picking up strategies from one opponent along the way. He learns from everybody.
Taking control of the end pole
Is that
again.
just wide open? It is.
Completely on target, and Marky doesn't really have to do too much here apart from win the kickoff.
That's actually really big though for Marky, because Flores, the more practiced 1v1 player at the moment, with Marky focusing predominantly on 3v3, relying more on his ingrained skill and his natural ability, and definitely his experience. We talked about this before. A couple of players in this tournament playing the biggest tournament of their lives. Floris is one of those men.
Talking about experience, natural ability, and skill. Both of these players have that in droves. Floris will be taking on Marky with yet another challenge. Potentially getting open, gonna force the own goal. Marky Dudar unrelenting yet again, but this time it works out.
Marky with a couple of side-on challenges here, catching Floris off guard. Great realignment of the ball by Marky. Didn't even have to flip into that. Just put it up there for Floris to barrel through. We have a tie game, and now it's going to be the hardest part of the match for Floris. Can he just ignore the fact that Marky's tied him up, try to claw back in front?
Takes the early shot, but Marky can save. Don't know how much boost he has left. Probably not
Good
enough to do anything about this, as Floris rebounds and puts himself back into the lead yet again.
Yeah, great read there by Floris. Fake challenge, gets Marky to hit the ball into the sidewall. Quick turnaround and runs it into the open net. This is the highest scoring game that we've seen so far, by quite some margin. Every other game reaching halftime with no more than 3 goals being scored. And it shouldn't come as a surprise to many when you put Floris and Marky Duda in the arena that you get a bit more of a goal spectacle, as we're seeing right now.
One of the rare occasions that Marky has decided to take to the air. Might end up regretting it. He's actually missed the boost and tie. He's going to be 1v1 against Floris. Can't do anything.
Finish.
Very well played by Floris.
This is exactly what Floris needs. His flicks are the best way for him to score if he is hitting them on the day. And today, he has hit 2 of them out of 2. This is exactly what he needs if he's going to cross the finish line first place and progress throughout this tournament. Marky, on the other hand, relying more on the power shots and the mind games to try to outplay his opponent.
Yeah, Marky, not traditionally a player that would like to take his wheels off the floor. Instead, just going to try and force his way through, forcing the save out from Floris. We will now take control. Marky's been caught a couple of times, but this time Floris fast plays. Will be able to retreat just in time as Marky continues to try and fight his way around. Maybe find one of the goals that he needs to make a comeback. Floris taking his time. He really doesn't have to do too much right now. Get those flicks going.
Goodness.
Tear Marky Duda's defense apart.
Floris
Marky can't get there.
What a flick by this young man. How does he get that much height with almost no run-up? He gave himself an eternity to run around that ball and put it in at the far post. 3-goal lead is looking pretty desperate for the veteran. Floris, though, this is honestly going to elevate him into a tournament contender. Just the fact that his flicks are working out so well today. Good save by Marky to keep it within touching distance.
Just seems like whenever Floris is trying to go for the flick, he's just aiming to get it as high as physically possible. He's just launching it so far beyond his opponent's grasp, and in ones, no one's really going to be typically on the backboard ready and waiting like you do see in freeze matches. So Floris has got all control over the pitch, and Marky Duda has been forced to struggle and watch as the ball goes over him.
Yeah, Floris playing very confidently, playing very fast. And I mean, these flicks, they're not even fancy new style flicks with a reverse 45-degree flip. He's just front flip flicking that, and it makes it look easy, makes it look so deadly and almost undefendable. What do you do against that? If Floris is playing his A game, how do you stop that? That is a question that Marky has to answer. And not only that, how does he get 3 goals? As the ball's now zipping around the field, Floris showing no interest in conceding. Playing a very disciplined final half of this game. As we get towards the final minute, Marky's just not able to get enough power on his counterattacks. There's the demo though. Open net for the moment, but where's Floris going to spawn? Far side. It is a pop for Marky. Gets saved though by the respawning Floris. And we're getting into the final minute. Still 3 goals separate them.
Big shot off the crossbar.
Oh,
Marky just not in position to turn around and take the shot. Floris getting away with it that time around, but for the most part, he has controlled the ball and possession across the field. Another big demo. Where is Marky going to turn up? I don't think Floris even wants to take the chance that Marky could be in a good position. He'll take his time and just watch the clock slowly fade away. More flick attempts. Marky forced to respect. Look at him. He's just flailing around and can't do anything.
Floris just dangles Marky off the edge of a cliff on a rope. Not once, but twice. And after all the boost was wasted, Flores puts it in the top corner. And that is 6 goals to 2. With 36 seconds remaining, it needs to be kickoff shenanigans for Marky Duda, or this will be the end of his tournament run in the first round. Gets a bit of territory, but he just doesn't have much going on right now. Flores has looked great in shadow defense, but not anymore. Marky finally squeezes one in.
This is exactly what Marky has needed to do earlier on in the matchup. Win the kickoffs and force Flores into a very difficult position with very little boost. But because Flores has been so strong off the kickoff, it's meant that he's been able to place the ball around, slowly drain Marky Duda of resources, and then set himself up for the flicks. 25 seconds remaining. Flores in control of the ball yet again, as forcing out another good save from Marky.
Marky couldn't quite land outside the goal. That might be the end of the game. If he'd landed outside the goal there, got a quick counter attack,
it's the end of the game now.
He would have had a chance. But Flores, with the 180 dribble, is going to take down one of the players that inspired him to play 1v1 back in the day. And he has not only done that, but in style. And now, going to be, no doubt, maybe giving a couple of people a few, heads are going to be turning. They're going to be pretty scared as they wait in the latter rounds for Flores. This has been crushing performance towards the end of this game.
Flores has crushed one of Rocket League's most prominent past players. And now, even though he's going to watch a ball go past him from Marky Duda, I think he can now focus on his future.
Yeah, mathematical impossibility at this point for Marky to progress, but if only he could have got those shots working earlier in the game, it might have been a different story. But today, there's only one story, and that is the new boy, Flores, cements his legacy, cements his place in the second round.
Once again, a newcomer has defeated one of the greats, in what was a promising start for Flores. Now we will go to our last match of this round. Here we have two competitors separated in experience by about as great a margin as is possible. First, we have the miraculous winner of the North American qualifier, who battled his way through intense matches and impossible goal deficits in order to find his way here. His run was nothing short of unbelievable, and proved that Sheriff has a mentality which thrives under extreme pressure. Across from Sheriff sits a competitor with very little need for introduction. The first ever world champion of the sport and captain of the formidable G2 squad. This is the Mountain himself, Kronovi.
It is now Rocket League's legacy player, Kronovi, taking on the 12th Titan, the North American Open qualifier, Sjolinder.
That's a great start for the qualifier as he gets one on the board immediately. And it's stuff like this, early challenges, that is how he managed to catch off several players in a row in that qualifier, turning early, and then nobody expects that. It's just so in your face. Kronovi needs to be careful about that, because Sharif is not just here to be a fan, he's not just here to have some fun. He is absolutely here to try and win this, give it his best shot.
Sharif also very good with momentum on his side, considering how much of a pace-based game he does play. If he can knock one past you, he can knock 2 or 3 past you in just a matter of seconds. We did see that from him in the Open qualifier.
It's interesting, he played the Dominus, of course, in that qualifier. Now in the Octane, deciding to switch things up a little bit. Maybe play a bit more of a grounded game. Go for more dribbles against Kronovi. That's a good play by Kronovi, the trip up onto the opponent to make sure that the ball crosses the box safely. Kronovi himself also, very, very safe and grounded player in 1v1. For the time being, though, Sharif is the one hanging on to this lead, looking pretty comfortable right now, Shogun.
Yeah, the only thing I do worry about when I watch Sharif play is that boost control. Should it start to run dry, I don't think he'll be capable of holding himself on. Kronovi playing very dangerous, but he might have an open goal to aim for. Can't quite make contact. Now an extra follow-up put towards Sharif, who does make the save. Kronovi, though, still controlling boost, and it looks like I'm going to get my question answered.
And there it is. The boost is running low. Good save, though, by Sharif. Phenomenal stuff in defense. Kronovi is just circling him. He's circling his prey. For the time being, though, Sharif is turning everything back towards one of the most popular and successful players to have ever played the game. And now with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, 1-0 still remains until now. That should surely be 1-1. Kronovi has the open net. Gonna take it after a little bit of a stall thanks to that crossbar.
Sharif showing off one of the potential weaknesses of that turning on a dime style of his, which is that if he doesn't quite pace it correctly, or he doesn't quite get the distance right, Kronovi can see it coming and just get it straight over the top. Yet another lovely flick as we are now all tied up. Kronovi can go straight for the kickoff. Can just about get there, but not quite in. 0 boost as Kronovi almost managed to find the angle, but we are still at 1-1.
My goodness, Kronovi will not get a better chance than that. Sharif somehow still in this, in a tie game. I can't believe he missed that kickoff, though. That's a horrendous miss by Kro. Nerves getting to even a player as experienced as him. But you're absolutely right. With Sharif's consistent early challenging, Kronovi could capitalize. If he spots that, starts making early flicks on the ball, early shots, Sharif might get punished. And it might be happening already, Sugar. That's a good shot from distance. Decent save, though, by the underdog.
One of the interesting facts to note is that when Sharif did go through the open quality here, fire.
Oh,
wow. Okay, I'll hold that for as Kronovi holds it over the top of Sharif and plops it into the net.
That delayed jump to pop it just a shade higher than Sharif was expecting does give Kronovi the first lead of the match for him. Yeah, like you were saying, the open qualifier is now distant memory. Sharif has to focus on the time being. He has to focus on the now. How is he going to stop Kronovi from turning around this game like he has?
Yeah, but he's not taking on a nervy player anymore. He's taking on the face of Rocket League itself. Someone that will always play calm. Kronovi, though, struggling to really get control of the ball. Sharif wants to try and challenge.
There's that fast play, though, like we were expecting. Anticipating Sharif's early challenge. Sharif did actually slow it down. He's playing a little bit more careful now. I do like that. Does not want to give another free goal away, or else Kronovi might just run away with it. And his defense has been good in shadowing position. Another opportunity has opened up. Shooting from distance. Is that going to work against the goalkeeper of Kronovi's caliber? I just don't think so. And the shots that Kronovi's firing back are just a little bit better quality.
Kronovi, all he had to do was make Sharif think that he was going to do his own version of the turn and challenge, faked it out, and Sharif took a panicked shot straight into the North American player's car. And then you saw the difference in shooting power as Kronovi will take a 2-goal lead. Sharif needs another miraculous comeback because he is currently facing down the barrel of a first round loss.
That's a wild aerial by Sharif. He's going to probably get back. Yes, he will, in time to defend his net. But it's all very direct by Sharif. It's no patience in this offense. He's done well to withhold as well as he has against what Kronovi's bringing towards his net. But as soon as he's going towards Kronovi's net, it's all very, very easy to read for Kronovi. Still, though, 2 goals in it. We've seen Sharif make more miraculous comebacks than this in the past. Far more. So if anyone could do it, it will be him. He doesn't want to leave it too late against a player like Kro.
45 seconds remaining. It could be about to be free. And
good shot.
There is going to be the 3rd goal. And a major cushion picked up from Kronovi. Sharif trying so hard to get back into the match. Trying so hard just to take the ball away from Kronovi. And that is the result. Desperation for Sharif has just got even worse.
That's a phenomenal shot, though, by Kronovi. What a way to finish without even dodging. Just allowing his own car's placement to dictate the ball. Arcing high into the net. And a flick by Kro is going to make it 5. Sharif, I don't even hate the early challenge here. What else can you do with this much time left? He needed to make a challenge, but unfortunately, everything on the kitchen sink was not enough on this occasion. And now, we need the kickoff goal miracles, or it is going to be all over for the North American qualifier.
Well, let's take a look if he can get a hold of it. Another good kickoff from Kronovi. He hasn't managed to win possession of the boost, but anything that isn't a
no.
direct route to his net is also good. And this is even worse. Sharif is flailing all over the place, but unable to control the ball as Kronovi controls the match.
6-1 is going to put this game out of reach. A valiant effort by Sharif. You see him trying his best to get the ball towards Kronovi's net as the seconds tick down at the end of the match, but it just was not meant to be. Kronovi, too much experience, too much accuracy, far too solid on the day. Sharif will drop in round 1.
This is going to be a major learning experience for Sharif as another one goes straight past him. I want to see this match again in a year or so's time. See what lessons Sharif can learn, because clearly his strategies did not work. But I really think that he has the potential to go on and learn a lot more.
It started off close. It was a 2-horse race for a large part of this game. But even in the best of 1, Kronovi has been able to get his nose in front and stay well in the lead. And he will move on to the second round.
Welcome to round 2. Please proceed to the waiting area.
The Gatekeepers. The round in which the 4 most elite titans enter the tournament. Will they put an end to the hopes and dreams of those coming from the pit? Or will the winners from the first round break through? It's time to find out. Here we have Ocelon, the newcomer, who took down Turbopulsar in the first round. Although an impressive accomplishment, he now faces a much more daunting task, which comes in the form of the first gatekeeper, better known as Lethamyr. He is a player who has won several major tournaments in the Ones arena over the past year, while simultaneously making his way to 2 world finals in standard play. Anyone who wants to stand a chance against him will need to come very well prepared.
And with that, this is the start of the first gatekeeper round. Lethamyr versus Ocelon.
Lethamyr gets the first kickoff win. It's going to be really important for Ocelon to start off strong here. He is the massive underdog coming in. This is the biggest stage he's ever played in, and he's not off to a good start. Ocelon, he's down by 1. Lethamyr, great pop though.
Yeah, you're 100% right about this. Lethamyr, by far the more experienced player of these two, needs to keep that advantage for himself as this match continues on. And if he doesn't allow Ocelon anyone to breathe, then he could let the new kid really start to crumble under the pressure.
And Ocelon, he's going to have to win kickoffs, isn't he? This is looking really bad. Lethamyr is going to be the most consistent player in this tournament, I believe. And Ocelon, within 13 seconds, trailing by 2. This is the worst possible start that he could have had.
Yeah, really poor kickoff as well. Came across the side of the ball, whilst Lethamyr keeps it nice and simple. Just has to make sure he hits directly in the middle, and the rest of the work is done for him. 13 seconds now down. And Ocelon with lots of work to do, and yet another kickoff going against him, but this time he should be able to react.
Yeah, he did well there staying with Lethamyr, didn't give him the right space, and another good low 50-50 is going to win himself some space. I don't think he's got enough of an angle to get that into the target. A good recovery by Leth. He sniped that boost, and he is in full control once again. It does look like Lethamyr is going to be in the driving seat for the first minute or so.
Yeah, but Ocelon, lovely challenge from him. Tries to go for the dish, but couldn't quite get there. Now starting to control boost instead. Lethamyr will be forced to watch. No, he will not. Instead, taking matters into his own hands, down to the other end of the bench.
My
and yet another goal in.
Lethamyr is 3-0 up in the first minute, and Ocelon trying to slow play, expecting Lethamyr to sit back. That is not how this guy plays ones. If he sees a weakness, if he senses a moment of hesitation, he moves in and he capitalizes.
This was much better from Arsalan, but unfortunately with the best of one strategy we're going into, he doesn't have time to take this long to settle into the matchup. Yes, that previous goal was better, but Lefmir firmly in control, not only of the game, but of every single boost pad, giving himself some space.
And he's bringing Arsalan towards him. That is the key for Lefmir. He knows he's already got the 3-goal lead. He's bringing Arsalan into his half once more. Now Arsalan has to run away as Lefmir starts to advance, and another goal goes in. That's 4-0. Gatekeeper proving his worth.
This is something I did not expect from Lefmir. I knew he was the more experienced player of the two, but I didn't expect him to make it look this vast, the difference in a playing experience between them. But Lefmir, so calm in every situation, is forcing Arsalan to outplay himself half the time.
And this is a guy, he's already won a game in this tournament, nervously albeit, versus Turbopulsar. But that is just a distant past at this moment. I'm sure that he's long forgotten that victory as Lefmir is piling on the pressure. He's not done, even though he's 4 goals up. Just a perfect performance so far from Lef. He's flawless in every aspect of the field and swats aside another Arsalan attack like it's nothing.
Arsalan needs to start varying his attack now. Every time he's had the ball, he's tried to take it down to the ground and continue to play forward. But Lefmir, he's playing himself forward, maybe forward into the semi-finals of this tournament. If it keeps going like this, who's to say no?
And at this point, he's only 13 minutes away from $10,000. Of course, he needs to win this game and the next two that will follow, but 5-0 versus Arsalan. I did think he was the favorite, but this is way more one-sided than I anticipated. This is crazy. Lefmir is just playing perfectly, and Arsalan, I don't know if he expected this, but he certainly isn't ready for what the Canadians bring to the table.
Arsalan needs to try and control, but that is absolutely no control. And Johnny, who said he was moments away from trying to take this game, but this isn't a game anymore. This is a mauling from the Canadian.
This is brutal. Arsalan just has to try and steady himself. At this point, it's becoming an embarrassment. He's got to try and shore up these weaknesses in defense. He needs to try and stop Lefmir from scoring. Everything Lefmir does, it looks so safe and calculated, and it's still going in. He's honestly playing out of his mind right now. Even with all that pressure off the best of one and all that prize money, he just continues to play his A game.
Arsalan really has not got going so far. Controlling boost now. This could be a big one. Is that going to be his first
goal?
It should be, and it is. More than half this game left to play, but Arsalan finally puts his name on the scoreboard.
And it's not a moment too late, and it's an early challenge as well. Got to give him credit for that, because when he is this far down, he doesn't need to doubt himself. He's got to just go all in. He's so far behind. Is he even going to get 6 chances to score? I mean, far less take them. Well, he's got 1, and he's taken it. Now he just needs another 5, and he's got half the game to do it in. Lefmir, though, not taking the pressure off just yet.
The big problem as well is when you see those huge goal swings, it usually comes majorly from kickoffs, but Lefmir has controlled every kickoff we've seen so far, so Arsalan's not really getting those opportunities, and instead Lefmir notices 1 goal's gone past him, but still calm and relaxed, reasserts his authority in this match.
And that's his style, isn't it? He doesn't go for the volatile kickoff. He goes for a much more controlled approach, and it's working wonders against Arsalan, who doesn't really have a one kickoff strategy that he prefers. He tries to mix it up, he tries to push the ball, pull the ball sometimes, but whatever he's doing today just has not worked. He's using every little bit of boost that he had there to try and gain control, and it is not going to happen. Lefmir is going to be 8-1 up, 7 goal difference, and that glimmer of hope, that silver lining for Arsalan, of 1 goal that he was able to get earlier, it's just not going to count for anything if this continues as is.
This is called the 12 Titans, but right now Lefmir looks like a colossus next to yet a mere man. Is stomping on this Gatekeeper round matchup. 8-1 right now, still with 2 minutes remaining.
And is he gonna reach 10? That's always the question when you get into the 8 and into the 9 territory off 1v1 goals. Arsalan at this point, he might just be playing this one out, trying to save his honor. He's done well. He got past Turbopulse, he got into the top 8, got into the quarterfinal, but versus Lefmir, he's been just swat aside. And this is probably the earliest that I have ever felt fully confident in calling a game, not just because of the scoreline, but because of how Lefmir is just dismantling the Dutchman.
Every player in this tournament, take notice and take heed. Lefmir is here to play. He is not just happy settling down for the Gatekeeper title. He wants to be the one and only Titan in this tournament. And right now, I honestly struggle to think of any player that could really challenge him for that.
This is such a solid performance, like you're just hinting at. Lethmir is playing so well. That's a good shot though by Ocelon. And I mean, we talk about how big a deficit this is, but look at the time that's remaining. There's still almost 90 seconds left in this game. It is possible, and I feel like I'm overhyping this potential comeback, but it is really possible for this to happen if Ocelon can get some momentum in his kickoff, but he needs to start winning them. And is it going to happen? That's at least in the right territory. But look at the Lethimir's control. He's once again able to get goal side. That's a good shot though by Ocelon.
Big problem right now for Ocelon is that he
good
needs to
control!
cause something like this to happen, and he's managed to do it. 6 goals now is the difference between him and his Canadian opponent.
And at this rate, he's just about on track. He needs to score at this pace. He can't just score goals, you know, at a slow pace, you know, dribbling the ball around the field. He's got to try and keep up that tempo, win the kickoff, pressure, and he's doing it again. There's no way. Is this actually happening, Shogun? That is 9-4. Ocelon is coming back.
Lethmir needs to calm this down right now. He cannot afford for Ocelon to find his groove with these kickoffs. Yes, Lethmir has maybe pulled off his kickoffs a little bit more, because I've noticed him trying to recover more than he's trying to win. And that could end up being a huge problem for him right now, because Ocelon is barraging through that ball.
And it's once again back to the kickoff, back to Ocelon winning. I can't believe that we're seeing this, but somehow he's able to create another chance. Great play. Lethmir closes the gap and once again takes control. This could be enough to close out the game. He's got a minute left and 5 goals. Ocelon needs to score almost once every 10 seconds, and he's got no boost, no ball to work with. Lethmir piling on the pressure again, and I love that he turned around there, not giving Ocelon a chance to counter-attack.
The storm may very well be subdued as Lethmir.
Oh, he's so patient.
He's just going to hold it. He's just going to flick it, and he's just going to take it to the other end of the pitch and confirm his 10th goal of this game.
And you can't blame Ocelon for going in for that. He's down by so many goals. What difference does another one make? It's a best of one. It's winner takes all. Only one player advancing to the semi-finals, and it really does look now like the Ocelon comeback has completely been derailed. 37 seconds, 6 goals. I have never seen that in the history of Rocket League 1v1, but you never know. Ocelon, he's not going to give up. He is fighting tooth and nail until the final moments.
Unfortunately for him, Lethmir has fought for every single boost as well as every single inch. There is an 11th goal for him. And yep, I feel like I can join you right now. This game is effectively over, but Ocelon proving he had a huge amount of heart though with that comeback.
Not giving up. 9-1, and he just decided then to start making the comeback happen. I do like that he tried to fight back there, and he's trying to pressure. He conceded a 10th goal, but I think he made the right play. Moving in aggressively, trying to catch Lethmir off guard. Lethmir saw him coming and flicked it over and made him look stupid, but that's just because Lethmir is that good.
This really has not been a game dictated by playing ability. This has been entirely down to experience. Lethmir, the more experienced player, could calm himself down earlier and pick up that early lead that ended up just being a chasm. And now he will take this win into the next round.
And that's game. Lethmir moves on.
Although he has demonstrated that he is capable of competing at the high levels, Ocelon has just had a rather harsh reality check in the form of a gatekeeper. On to the next match.
Competitor 2, your opponent has arrived. Competitor 2, your opponent has arrived.
Fairy Peak, a seasoned veteran of the sport, who was able to take down the European qualifier in convincing fashion last round. He now faces a challenge that any reasonable person would dread to face. This gatekeeper is a former world champion who rarely gives us a glimpse into his life. All we know is that when he surfaces, there is a potential to see things that we have never seen before in this sport. This is Cookser.
battle of the Batmobile is going to happen right now as Cooksit97 takes on Fairy Peak.
And this is a revenge match if I've ever seen one. Fairy, since a long time ago, has had a bone to pick with Cuxer for beating him 4-0 in a best of 7. I think it's over a year ago, but he's off to a good start, punishing a weak clear from the Italian. And Fairy Peak is obviously coming in here as one of the strongest players from the round 1 victory.
Absolutely taking control of Cooks' missed clear. Just had the timing off a little bit, wanted to catch up with that very large rear end of the Batmobile. And as we mentioned coming into this, these two are both playing Batmobile. A car that we're going to see less frequently in this tournament. What does the Batmobile offer to you as a 1v1 player?
It's just a little bit more of a defensive approach, usually. Not that Fairy Peak likes to play defensively. That's a phenomenal interception. Taking Cux by surprise, not only with attacking the ball on the wall, but look at that recovery and shot that followed.
You mentioned this at the very beginning here, Johnny, that Cooksit did beat Fairy Peak 4-0. Maybe Fairy Peak's got that in his mind right now, just going, okay, you beat me 4-0, I'm going to repay you for every single one of those matches. And he is halfway there right now to a complete revenge.
And of course, we've got to remember, Fairy played
There's another one
earlier, but he's just making the Batmobile look easy. He just eliminated Clayx in round 1 with that Octane, switched it up. You're thinking, well, Cux, if you think you're the best Batmobile player in this tournament, you got another thing coming, and it's going to be 3 goals into your net in 35 seconds. This is just as one-sided to start as Lethamyr versus Oslan, but it looks like Cux might be able to do something about it a bit quicker than Oslan did. There's one on the board for the crowd favorite.
The very first kickoff to go in favor of Cux, and he makes the most of it. Usually giving up that side boost over to Fairy Peak, who could do whatever he wanted with the ball immediately afterwards. Got to imagine Cooks will want to try and rebound with 2 more as quickly as he possibly can, but the kickoff will be the most telling about the future of this game. Fairy Peak, very good recovery on that one.
And this is one of those matches in the Gatekeeper round here between 2 very established players. We've got Cux, the Gatekeeper, but Fairy Peak, another very world-class player in the 3v3 environment. Season 3 grand finalist. Good save by Cux. Fairy making it difficult for him though. And as usual, Cux saving up a ton of boost, trying to make Fairy think that he's all starved. And his unconventional reversing actually not looking too bad. Oh, wait a minute, might have spoken too soon. Never mind. Cuxter with a huge turnaround. Fairy cannot have seen that coming.
Fairy just got caught out by the boost, expecting that Cooks was finally beat. Took himself a little bit too much time, and Cooks could just push it straight off the wall, remove Fairy Peak from the game. And we are now within 1, still early in this matchup. A lot of game left to play.
And that's just so patient from Cuxer as well. I can't believe that he pulled that one off. The Fairy Peak inches away from his goal, and he's still playing reactively the way that we know he loves to play. And he's able to be so comfortable in situations where other players would not.
Fairy going to continue to try and control these boosts. Cooks is on absolutely nothing, yet still trying to press forward. Yet Fairy Peak completes the flush, taking everything from the side. Cooks finally takes something, but can he get back in time?
What
a
shot
mid-shot
by
will
Fairy.
say no to that.
Cuxer might have thought for a moment, I can grab this boost, no danger. And then as soon as he turned around and saw where Fairy was, he's got to be thinking to himself, I have misplayed. Fairy Peak has wide open net from the midfield, and he's not going to miss that, even if it is up on the wall and he's only got 18 boosts when he strikes it. Incredible accuracy, as expected from the Frenchman. One of 2 Frenchmen remaining in this tournament, of course. We've got Kate up, Fairy Peak's former teammate and rival, on the other side of the bracket. Oh, what a flick by Fairy. Cux can't get the save. And he's up by 3 again.
Cooks here, one of the best defenders we have in this tournament, but unfortunately for him, Fairy Peak using the Batmobile to its absolute best. The flicks are almost always just about grazing the crossbar, making it that much more difficult for Cooks here to get the save. And now with yet another kickoff going over to Fairy Peak, he can begin to control this game further and further as another goal goes in. 4 goals now, the difference.
And it looks like Cux could have had this one, but with the speed that Fairy's hitting it at, and you can understand why he might not get enough on it. My goodness, Fairy struck that with power. 6-2. There's been just so many goals in this tournament. I thought that perhaps the best of 1 would bring the defensive playstyles out. It's just the opposite. Everything's going in, Shogun.
Why would you win it in 5 minutes when you can win it in 2?
It's a good
Fairy
question.
Peak would love to try and prove that theory to everybody right now. 5 goals, and he is dominating.
That first touch was Disgusting by Fairy. Just casually drives by and pops it.
Imagine trying to defend against that as well. You see Fairy Peak going for it. You think, okay, he's going to probably hit it with the nose of his car, take it back to his own side, and then play it. The last thing you expect is that he's setting himself up to immediately switch and hit as he goes for yet another shot.
Oh, Cooks with the demo, though. He could have maybe put that into the open net. He's not going to be too sad where he is. Is he going to go for this? Yes, he is. Cooks are following it in, but Fairy is there. Good recovery by Fairy to clear up the mess that Cooks created. It's Cooks who's in a mess. 5 goals down. Half the game gone. Fairy on the back wall looking for the dish. Cooks is there this time to stop him. But it is all up to this man now. The Italian, former world champion, former best player in the world, I would say. But he is absolutely up against it. 8-2. This is turning into just as one-sided a game as Lethem versus Ocelon.
And it's those first touches for Fairy Peak that has become the difference maker. Every single time he does it, he's either got the ball so far away from Cooks here that he doesn't have a choice to go and challenge it, or he baits it just well enough for him to go for a poor challenge. Fairy Peak can end up winning it and increase his lead by yet another goal. As Cooks, he's got time for this still, but unfortunately his more laissez-faire style of play needs to now be changed to utter
There you go.
just dominance, and that is a good start to that.
That was a good shot and good play by Cooks. Not the most boost, and Fairy gives him the space, says, well, what are you going to do? What you got? So let's see what you're bringing to the table. And it looks like this time what Cooks brought was good enough. Good placement on the flick. He's got to do a lot more of that, though. And like you say, he's maybe taking a little bit too much time to make his decisions. A lot of reversing, which is not what we're used to seeing in Rocket League. He's got another opportunity, though, and good recovery. That dodge couldn't have gone much faster. Fairy is there. As I find myself keeping on saying that. Fairy seems to always be there.
www. Has Fairy recovered yet? The
okay,
answer is usually yes, but that time,
Not this time.
Cooks here putting yet another one in, and now suddenly the large chasm that was between these two players has been dropped down to a 4-goal differential with 110 seconds remaining in this match. More than doable for the Italian.
That's pretty good mathematics there. I had to think about that one. I've thought about this match enough already to decide who I think the favourite is. I think you'll all agree with me. Despite that little mini comeback from Cooks, he's still got so much to do. And he's got to switch up his playstyle. He's got to get out of his comfort zone at this point. It's at the stage in the match. It's at that time in the game where defensive playstyle is not going to work, but he's going to need it in situations like this. 129 remains. Fairy gets another one.
And it's just been poor touch after poor touch from Cooks. It was the very first goal he conceded. And they're going to have another one right there. Basically just handing the ball back to Fairy Peak, who's got no pressure on him at this point in time. He just keeps adding to his tally. Can we get yet another game in a row, Johnny, with 10 goals to 1 player?
Oh, Fairy so consistent. I'm thinking he might be in an awkward spot, but he just makes it look easy. This man really has changed a lot since the same man that Cooks beat 4-0 in a best of 7 over a year ago. The experience of the past year has been great. And Cooks with a mind game on the line. It looks like it's going to work. I'm not sure if this was intended, but it's worked wonderfully for the former world champion.
Let's take another look here. Yeah, that has to be intentional. I've seen Cooks here hit incredible shots. There's no way he misses a ball that big and that in front of him. So 4 goals. 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining. This is doable, but at Cooks' pace, I'm not quite sure. He needs to start finding some shots from his own half, so to speak. But unfortunately for him, he's never going to be able to bait Fairy Peak close enough to him for that to happen.
He's still got the ability to slow play this for the win, but he needs to score every shot. Well, that should be one masterfully done off the crossbar by Cooks there. We're saying he needs to play faster. He sticks to his guns. He's going to do it his own way the whole way.
Plays it 1-2 off the crossbar. This is supposed to be a 1v1 tournament, Cooks. Yet he managed to find himself the perfect teammate. And suddenly closer and closer. The score edges. These kickoffs need to start going in favor of Fairy Peak. But once again, he's handed over not only the ball, but the boost to Cooks here, who can yet again slow pay and get Fairy into his own head.
He's done it again!
Starting to crumble.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. Cuxer is on the warpath. The comeback trail. I don't know why I doubted him. Why did I doubt Cuxer?
Don't worry.
Never doubt
It happens
Cuxer.
to all of us.
41 seconds, and now it's a very, very doable task. Fairy Peak just needs to win 1 kickoff and hang on to the ball. But is it going to happen? Cuxer's going to be able to grab this, I think. It really is touch and go. No, he backs away, gives it to Fairy. It was going to be very close, and that is exactly what all that Fairy needed. He's going to try and play the possession game. Doesn't want to give Kux another chance. This is very smart by Fairy Peak, but it gets annihilated for his trouble. Open net. Kux puts it in. We are in a 1-goal game with 21 long seconds left from Fairy's perspective. I can't believe that Kux has done this.
Fairy played that almost perfectly. The ideas were right, but Kux here, you can have every single answer right, but he is a genius when it comes to this game. This kickoff is massive. Fairy,
that's a good
keeps
kickoff.
It pretty 50-50 and takes it away from Kux here. Going to control the boost as well. This is starting to tick away. Kux here. Takes the ball one more time.
He can't reach it though. He wanted to follow, but he had no boost. Now Fairy has the opportunity. He's going for the defensive play again. This didn't work last time. It's getting close to 0. Stays up though. Kux has not got much boost. This is going to be such a difficult 0-second play, and Fairy Peak is looking to play into distance. Does well, and he will take it. Fairy Peak moves on in a nail-biter.
Despite a fearsome comeback, Fairy Peak has found a way to eliminate the great Kuxer. However, there is no time to dwell, as it is time for the next match.
Competitor 3, please proceed to the main stage. Competitor 3, please proceed to the main stage.
Here we have Flores, one of the 2 newcomers of the sport to make it to the second round. Unfortunately for him, his likelihood of advancement has only grown smaller since the first round. This is thanks to the 3rd gatekeeper, who happens to be the highest earning player in all of Professional Rocket League, as well as the current world champion. If anyone were to wonder how to make a living in this sport, this is your example, best known as K-Dop.
The penultimate gatekeeper round matchup, K-Dop versus Flores, is now underway.
This is a match that we have seen before, although not a best of 1 and nowhere near this much money on the line. But Flores did win that best of 5 that these guys have played in the past. And we have to also mention he's got every right to be as nervous as his friend Ocelon, who just got eliminated in pretty one-sided fashion.
Well, if you are nervous, I don't think K-Dop is the style of player you'd really want to go against. Certainly a mauling style of player, as he's going to push that ball straight into the net as he opens up the scoring.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's all about those power shots, and Flourish just not doing enough there to get the ball to safety. K-Dop just makes it look easy. That first touch is far from easy to get that pop just in the right spot where Flourish cannot reach it. K-Dop can hit it on the bounce, and he can also get a big enough run up to slam it over the top of his opponent. All of those things just happened in one moment for the Frenchman, and Flores just got an incredibly lucky goal, I'm not going to lie. Failing his flick. One of his favorite things to do is the flick, but not failing it.
Yeah, he really needs to try and get that up higher, but K-Dop thought he could just push straight through and go for the counter-attacking goal. Instead, pushes it straight into the body of Flores' car. All tied up yet again, and for the first time in this gatekeeper round, no player has just immediately gone forward and destroyed.
Flores off the ceiling, gets the shot past
K-Dop. I take it back. There has been a player that has gone forward and decided to destroy. His name is Flores. Remember it.
Flores, in the biggest match of his life so far, just ceiling shot at the world champion K-Dop.
The question we put forward is, could Flores keep himself calm? Yes. Yes, he can.
Yes, he can. And we've got to remember, although he's mostly known for his 1v1 ability, he has been playing 3v3 as well.
Oh, he's certainly a player we need to be looking out for this year.
Absolutely solid in the air, very, very quick, great mechanics, and K-Dop is going to equal him in that regard, though. Again, just solid ground shots. He's saying, Flores, you might look fancy off the ceiling, but I'm going to show you how to do just as an effective job from the ground. And Flores not even close to saving that one.
Yeah, it looked like Flores was expecting maybe a dribble from K-Dop, tried to move himself forward to give himself a quicker option, should that come to him. But instead moved himself away from the back post and allowed that small gap to open up. K-Dop happily took advantage.
By Flores!
What a great play from Flores!
He just completely took K-Dop out of the game. He's styling on K-Dop. First the ceiling shot, now a huge mind game. As he just slots in at the back post casually. K-Dop has lost the lead again. Flores gets his nose in front. And these goals he's scoring have got to do wonders for his confidence.
Absolutely. Now he's going to need to try and get himself a second one, though, because these guys have been trading thus far. Every single possession seems to result in a goal. As Flores is now teed up and hit him with the 9-iron down to the other end of the pitch.
I do love what Flores did right before that in defense as well.
He didn't have a bad flick, though.
Flicks, I wanted to get away from the flicks. He's looking like he's a bit shaky with his ball control at the moment, which is understandable given the gravity of the situation. But he's fading away for the second time in a row. He's done that in defense, and it's worked both times. Just fading away from the challenge, getting the ball to roll to safety. And again, he's just going to fake out, go away from K-Dop, give him the play. K-Dop doesn't look like he's got an answer for that just yet.
Now it seems like K-Dop wants to go for a two-touch play most of the time. Pick ball, then shoot ball. And that time he managed to get a save from a weak shot from Flores. He has got control yet again. There is a flick. That's a much better one this time, forcing K-Dop to move. But he has got it at least somewhat safe over in the corner.
And he's won the boost as well as Flores with that flick. Yeah, no, pretty weak on this attempt. He's still not to score with a flick after 4 times of trying. I would like to see him maybe try a few more ground shots if that continues to be unsuccessful.
I mean, he's 100% off the ceiling so far.
I'm
just offering suggestions.
Why not go for another ceiling shot? Really, why not? If it works, why bother changing the strategy? Very lucky to avoid getting demoed there from Flores, but K-Dop is going to power through regardless. Just before halftime in this match, the Frenchman equalizes. Yeah,
gave away, and Flores actually could have avoided this if he managed to pick up the side boost right in the middle, but instead it was K-Dop who got a hold of it and could just wrestle his opponent out of the way. We are now all tied up with half this game left to play. Flores taking the kickoff for his own side. He shouldn't be able to make too much of this yet.
He's looking great on kickoffs, this Flores. Drops the bounce dribble this time, and he's got a flick again, but K-Dop
don't like him.
Able to make it look easy, saving it. I would love to see him drop into that bounce dribble and maybe rip a ground shot. He really built his playstyle off Marky Duda, the player that he looked up to and learned from way back in the beginning. And Marky's always been a player who takes shots rather than flicks. Maybe Flores needs to take a leaf out of that book. It's more of a pseudo flick shot there from Flores. He's moving in the right direction, I think. Still not able to crack K-Dop with anything close to his own car.
K-Dop's done well here to hold on to as much boost as he could as well. Had multiple taken away from him, but still had half of the tank left.
Flores panicking here. He's got plenty of boost though, he's done well. Both these players preserving their boost, great. Look at the patience from Flores. K-Dop is side by side, just meters away from his goal. But Flores doesn't care. He's got to watch out for the demo though. K-Dop actually quick turnaround. Is that on net? Yes it is! K-Dop has found an opening where really Flores did not see that coming. Good shot from distance.
You know, and not in all video games is it good to go and chase after the shiny thing. And K-Dop proving that to Flores right there. Lovely turn and shoot, but Flores maybe got a little bit too comfortable with the slower pace of the game. Expected that, you know, maybe K-Dop would try and follow him up, but instead K-Dop had his own ideas.
I think Flores might have been running away from the potential demo as well. He might have been worried, oh, he just missed his catch. Flores getting a bit shaky here. He's got to remember there's only 1 goal in it. Done well to not get faked out by K-Dop's challenge in that situation. Catches it again, and flick is finally going to find the back of the net. 1:11 on the clock. Flores, I think with his 6th or 7th flick of the game, he's found the success with the strategy that's evaded him so far.
So far for Flores, getting the distance for those flicks have not been the problem. He's got there. He's not giving K-Dop any real options to move forward and take the ball away from him. The main problem has been getting it right. And if he starts getting it right, like he's starting to look like he is doing now, Flores could become a major pain for K-Dop heading into this final minute.
He's winning every kickoff, this Flores. That's one thing
Where's
I've got to give
K-Dop
to him. Oh, K-Dop, he did exactly what you talked about. He just ran into the corner for the boost. And this is a situation that there is never a demo in sight. There is no need for K-Dop to turn there. That's a huge misplay by a player who should know better. And into the final minute we go with Flores in the lead. He's led most of the game against the gatekeeper.
But this is where the biggest questions start to come in. Flores, phenomenal. Great at this game. And he's going to get himself yet another goal.
Another one.
This helps tremendously because, as we've said, Flores, not the most experienced player that we have of these two, but a 2-goal lead will so drastically reduce his nerves that it's going to be so useful because K-Dop is now about to come at him with hellfire and fury.
Yeah, one of the players I've seen make the most insane comebacks in one scenarios is K-Dop versus Devo, Marky Duda. He's made comebacks against those guys. Scrub, he's brought it back from ridiculous situations against them. Well, he's got to do it again against someone who can play on his day just as well as any of them, but this might not be that day. Flores lets another one through from distance. K-Dop's shots continue to be so accurate, though. We can't take that away from him.
Yeah, Frentzen right through, but Flores moved himself forward a little bit too much. Once again, expecting maybe a dribble to come out from K-Dop, and instead just lets the shot rip. 1 goal now, the difference, and what a kickoff from K-Dop.
I was waiting to see that one come out from him because he's not been having success with his normal kickoff. Flores is winning the vast majority of the possessions, and now he's going to do exactly what we saw Lethamyr do against Ocelon, slowing down the play, wasting that time off the clock, making K-Dop use all of his boosts, or almost all of it. Now he's just going to back off, bring the Frenchman out of his net, shoots from distance. Is he going to go up? He stays grounded, actually, and I think that might have been wise. Not to trail that one in the air.
Now in the corner, K-Dop wins.
It's 15 seconds.
Should be able to steal the boost as well. What is going to be Flores' chance here? And he does take it, goes for the challenge.
It's now or never for K-Dop. He's going to go up. He's read the ceiling bounce. He's put it too low, though. Flores with a huge save. And he gets the clear. That might be game. He's going to roll on a target. Doesn't matter. On the ground, the ball will stay. And Flores has just eliminated K-Dop.
The newcomer has defeated the RLCS World Champion, demonstrating something that not many may have expected coming into this tournament. Perhaps he is worth keeping an eye on. But now we will go to our last match of the Gatekeeper round.
Competitor 4, please proceed to the main stage. Competitor 4, please proceed to the main stage.
Kranovi, the old legend himself. He enters this round after giving Sherif a lesson in what it means to be a world-class competitor. Unfortunately for him, however, he must now avoid being taught a lesson of his own. Kranovi faces the fourth and final Gatekeeper, who happens to be the only player to have ever won the 12 Titans. This is the final player to enter the tournament, and the best ones player on Earth, Scrub Killer.
It is time for our defending champion to take the field against one of his biggest challengers yet. Kranovi from G2 is going to be his challenger.
Of course, Scrub did make a name for himself, first of all in Rocket League, by beating Kranovi. It's one of his big achievements back in the day. Oh, Kranovi with an own goal to start things off. It was a forced own goal, forced error, but an own goal nonetheless. Scrub Killer picking up a bit of a freebie here.
Absolutely, you were saying how Scrub did make his name by beating Kranovi. Well, that time Kranovi decided he'll just beat himself. 11 seconds into this match. 1 goal already for Scrub Killer, and that right there is going to be the biggest thing we'd watch out for from the young Scot throughout this entire tournament. Will be his kickoffs. became known for that style of kickoffs, even as a kickoff named after him. That's how good it is.
Of course, with the elimination of K-Dop, that's one of Scrub's biggest rivals out of the tournament already. But hold on, we might not have to start talking about that already. Kronovi almost sneaking one in. If he did have more boost, it would have been a goal. Tried the wave dash. Despite the fact that he didn't nail that mechanic first try, wasn't enough to get the ball rolling quite fast enough.
Scrub happy to use those walls to his advantage. Forcing Kronovi to consistently defend with his back turned. Doesn't mean that if Scrub can take the ball a little bit further under his control, that he can try and beat the American. But on top, Crow comes dashing forward though, takes advantage, and now he's got to try and play chase and catch up.
Oh, he's up for this one. Good angle shot by Crow. And he gets rewarded for consistent aggression when Scrub's on the ball. Kronovi is not going to sit back and let Scrub take shots. Early challenge is the name of the game, and he's tied it just over a minute into this one.
Kronovi well known for stepping up at the biggest occasions as well. 3 major tournament wins to his name. He would love to add a 4th using this tournament. Scrub taking his time, flicks. We can see if Kronovi will make any mistakes, but Kronovi is on the ball when it comes to his defense right now.
And he went for the wild pinch from defense. I'm not sure how consistent he is with it. That's another opportunity going to go his way.
It's a very hard mechanic to pull off with the Octane.
I can't imagine that he's going to score that most of the time. Oh, Scrub gets another one through. I didn't think this was going to go past Kronovi, but it did exactly that. Oh, he's got to be so careful with Scrub's shooting. Powerful and accurate, as all good 1v1 players are. Kronovi got a piece of it, but just not enough.
It's that ability to shadow as well that you do see from 1v1 players. They shadow both the player and the ball and put themselves into that perfect position that if you give them even a slight amount of space, they have options to take the ball around you. Scrub will re-establish his lead and wants to try and make it yet another goal.
Good shot.
And he will.
It's a great strike by Scrub in this setup. Of course, giving him that opportunity. Fake jump. Of course, Kronovi can't see a thing there. Scrub perfectly hiding himself behind the ball. Great job by the defending champion. Kronovi has got a lot of work to do. I really think he has to get his nose in front here to have a chance to win.
And well adapted as well from Scrub. He recognized that Kronovi was doing a great job defending with his back turned. So instead of trying to flick it over the top of him, force the ball straight through him. Try to make him go for a challenge, and it works out perfectly.
Crow does well here. Started off at the far post to no boost. Now he's got 100. Oh, Scrub with that lucky flick though. Has he missed this open net? Oh my goodness. It has all happened in Scrub. First of all, getting a very fortunate touch on the ball, and then missing an open net that followed. Kronovi as well trying a fake. That's a good job by Scrub not to let that work. Right after missing an open net is when he is most vulnerable. So that sort of strategy. Got to give credit to both these guys. Kronovi as well making that play very intelligent.
Kronovi now want to try and claw one back,
He's
and
got
he will
it.
do so. Lovely tap and smash, forcing Scrub Killer to move towards him, and then following it up with a lightning shot into the net.
It's a great play there by Kronovi. Perfect first touch. Just spacing Scrub away from it. Sticking that ball in the one spot where he can beat Scrub to it, but make Scrub think that he can get a 50-50. That's the key there. At just over halftime, Scrub continues to lead by a goal. I'm sure he's going to be feeling relatively comfortable for now. But this is going to be the longest 2 minutes and 15 seconds of Scrub's life. As he looks across the finish line in front, Kronovi continuing to press the matter. Scrub looks to be outpacing him and certainly winning the boost battle.
It's just a game where these guys have been playing relatively slow-paced. Just trying to see who can pull the trigger at the correct time, increase that pace, use 100 boost, and get the ball around the other. And so far, Scrub doing a great job of forcing Kronovi away,
to the backboard.
He's managed to read that relatively well. Scrub Killer with the follow-up, and he's also managed to recover reasonably well as well. Choosing for the shot over the boost, and it was the correct decision.
Scrub, great recovery. He realized Kronovi is going for the double touch, beat him to the ball on the backboard, and more as well as we see the ball rolling in to Kronovi's net at the far end. He's got that 2-goal lead again, and as we do get closer and closer to the final stages, I'm sure Scrub is going to settle and just try to play more of a possession game. But for now, he continues to attack at every opportunity. Kronovi not getting a dodge. I think it might have just timed out. And of course, no dodge wall shot. No good. Where's the Scrub Killer?
Crow's managed to He's opted for the ball over the boost there, so he has going to come into this pretty low. Choosing to back off now instead. Scrub Killer can move the ball towards him, still with the advantage, and it's been taken out of the game. This should add yet another one to Scrub Killer's tally. And Kronovi, he managed to keep up for a long time, but he's starting to seem like he is outpaced by the young Scot.
And I don't disagree with Kronovi's strategy and defense. He is pressing Scrub extremely early. He doesn't want to give Scrub space to work with. He doesn't want to give him time to set up his attacks, because of course Scrub is so dangerous when he's able to pick his angles and choose where he wants to shoot the ball. But Scrub is just good enough to win, even if you are playing the right strategy against him. 1 minute remains. 3 goals the difference. Scrub off the near post is going to continue dribbling. Where on earth does Kronovi go from here? He's going to go 4 goals down. That's where he's going to go. And it is looking more and more unlikely for the fan favorite.
Yep, Scrub Killer just choosing his pacing perfectly right now. Always puts that ball just a little bit out of your reach, forcing you to take the bait. And even in situations like that where you just can do absolutely nothing about it. These kickoffs, once again, giving the ball over to Scrub Killer. Can he force another one? Yes, he can.
Scrub, with the delayed 50-50, puts a 5th goal in the lead for himself. And now Kronovi's got that terrible stat line to look at the top of the table. 5 goal difference. That's, I think, more than a goal every 10 seconds if he wants to win this. And it's going to be an uphill battle for sure.
The same story. We saw it last season when it came to Kronovi's old IBP teammate. Oh, wow, Scrub Killer. He can't do anything wrong right now.
He is definitely feeling comfortable in this lead. He could have sat back and done nothing risky here, but he's gone for the 360 into 720 dunk, air dribble, off the crossbar as well. And 8-2. We did see an 8-2 earlier in the tournament, but Fairy Peak, of course, nearly lost that lead to Cuxer. I do not think the same thing is going to happen here with Scrub versus Kronovi as he puts in a 9th goal. It was 3-2 not too long ago.
And back to the point I was trying to make earlier on. When Scrub Killer took on Lachinio in last season's grand final, the exact same thing happened. Lachinio, he kept it close, he kept it a match, but Scrub Killer is the best in the world at noticing one little weakness in your game and taking advantage and tearing you apart because of it. The same thing has happened to Kronovi. One weakness, and that has been Scrub Killer's ability to win challenges.
Yeah, he's just ran rings around Kronovi for the latter half of this game. It all goes back to that one interception on the backboard as well. Kronovi did have an opportunity to go for the rebound, which he did set up with his own wall shot. Scrub Killer saw that, not only saved it, but also managed to score on the counter-attack, and that was the turning point from close game into very one-sided game. Kronovi looking for a consolation goal, but it's going to be nothing more than that as the gatekeeper Scrub does move on into the next round. That's 2 gatekeepers eliminated, but Scrub Killer is not one of them.
Absolutely not. Scrub Killer dominant in a match that he was certainly tested in. Kronovi stepped up to the plate, but Scrub Killer proving why he won last year's 12 Titans tournament, and with this win will move himself one step closer to that $10,000 prize.
Another constellation goal will go in for Kronovi. It's a great touch as well. So at least he's got something to go home with. A wooden spoon if I've ever seen one, but good catch and the backflip flick to put it over the top of a flailing Scrub. But it is Scrub who will move on to the semi-finals.
One year later, and the previous champion appears to be in great form. It will be interesting to see how the other Titans deal with this. And, just like that, only 4 remain. From this point on, the remaining 4 Titans have nothing to prove as far as being exceptional ones players. Instead, they will need to prove that they can go beyond that and find a way to win despite the overbearing pressures of this format. This round will begin with a match between 2 seasoned professionals. One who entered this tournament as a gatekeeper, and the other who made his way here all the way from the pit. This is the third to the last match of this tournament. Good luck, Lethamyr and Fairy Peak.
Fairy Peak has taken down one Gaper, and yet another one stands before him. It's time for our first semi-final matchup.
And now representing the Batmobile population after taking down the most popular Batmobile player to ever play the game. So he's going to carry that torch for Cuxer. And I'm sure Cuxer's going to be cheering for Fairy to go and win this match and the next one. Of course, that is all that is needed of these guys if they want to walk away with the 10k prize pool. All in their own hand.
So much work to do and so little work to do all at the same time. That is the 12 Titans tournament.
Such an interesting little passage of play that we just saw with Lethamyr not quite able to work the ball into the net. He used up all his boost. That's something we didn't really see from him versus Ocelon. He was completely in control of his boost, start to finish. I really do think that Fairy is going to make it more difficult for him. Batmobile or not, Fairy is an aggressive player.
Fairy now tried to take it up on top of his car, but could not quite control it in time. And Lethamyr happily takes the ball away and turns it in for goal number 1.
We're already just about 20% of the way through the match. Good job by Lethamyr spotting that fumble from Fairy in the midfield as Fairy looked to maybe continue that bounce dribble. Accidentally went underneath the ball. Something that I'm sure a lot of players are familiar with, but these guys need to dig deep. They can't allow that sort of thing to happen at this level in these most important moments of their 1v1 careers.
Left trying to take the ball up. Seems like he wants to prod away. See if Fairy Peak wants to hand him a mistake. Fairy Peak responds with a massive booming shot down to the other end of the pitch. A lot of long balls compared to what we usually see in a game of ones.
Up for this.
Fairy Peak tries to take the ball down. He's now going to take Lethamyr on in a 1v1. Takes his time, now looks to go to the other side, and he gets it near perfect from the Frenchman.
That is a great piece of shot selection from Fairy. He doesn't have much boost to work with, so the big run-up is necessary. Still manages to find that one angle that Lethamyr didn't have covered. Big shot on display from Fairy is, of course, worrying for Lethamyr because this guy has so many different types of shots at his disposal, and he's already used one that is perhaps a little bit more rare and not seen so often.
Fairy wants to try and force it around Lethamyr yet again. When it comes to Fairy Peak, it's all going to come down to his first touch. And in that situation, his first touch was on the body of his opponent's car, taking Lethamyr out. And once again, in that 1v1 situation with the fake, Fairy Peak's going to put himself a goal up.
Oh, Fairy. Of course, he's got Lethamyr so scared of the shot, thanks to his hook shot that he ripped out earlier. Now he just lets the ball do the hard work, rolling in from the halfway line. And Fairy Peak gets his first lead of the match.
And it's so important that Fairy Peak puts the fear of that into Lethamyr so early in this match. Now he's got free reign whenever he gets into those situations, but Lethamyr off the kickoff, going to bring that goal back yet again. If Lethamyr can get this kickoff going, we've already seen how dangerous he can be.
Yeah, that's one of the kickoffs that he's less known for, the one that bounces all the way off the side wall. It's really the dead ball kickoff, where the ball that bounces up straight into the air but not too high to shoot. Those are the ones we're more used to seeing from Lethamyr. But of course, he'll take an open net if he's got one. Oh, Fairy Peak rattling the post with the volley. Like you said earlier, Leth is so scared now of those mind games. He's trying to close the distance. He doesn't want Fairy to have space, but Fairy is just a little bit too quick. And
the same as it was against Cooks here. The very first touch from Fairy Peak is sublime. Takes it to the side, offers himself so many options, whilst also outplaying his opponent. He is now going to be 1 goal up. Still 3 minutes left to play, but Fairy Peak, whenever he's got the ball in an offensive situation, is looking almost unstoppable.
And we've got to talk about Scrubkill on the other side of the bracket. He does not want to play against Fairy Peak. He's not a player that he's got a good record against. Lethamyr, perhaps another player that Scrub is a little bit scared of, perhaps not as much so. Flores, who's in Scrub's way at the moment, is a player that Scrub does love to play.
And we've seen Lethamyr do very well in longer set tournaments where he's got more than 1 game to play. He's only got 2 minutes and 20 seconds now to start to react to Fairy Peak, whose main gameplay style right now has just been defend, take ball, and then let you make the mistakes because Fairy Peak is just in your head.
Oh, the dunk!
And that's going to go the way in.
Fairy Peak is going to capitalize on more hesitation from Lethamyr, He's expecting Fairy to turn, but with no vision of the Frenchman, can he make that decision safely? I don't think so. Lethamyr, first time we've seen somebody drop behind by 2, and it is going to be NA's last hope in the tournament. Up against the only Batmobile that's left. We've got the unique players perhaps remaining on this side of the bracket. Then we just got boarding European Octane players on the other. What a surprise.
Well, here's the wild cards playing right now, and Lethamyr takes the goal after what can only really be described as a wild play there from Fairy Peak. That first touch, not exactly existent. Tried to catch it with the rear end of the Batmobile and fling it down to Lethamyr's end, but just couldn't get contact.
Yeah, he wanted to pop that ball, give himself some more time. Of course, he gave himself no time at all with a whiff. But he does have that goal advantage courtesy of his work earlier in the game. Gets the boost in this corner. I can't believe that he landed on that boost, and he should be able to get a goal. I am going to guarantee to you guys that Lethamyr is just as surprised that Fairy Peak got that boost. He must have thought that he got it secure, no problem. Next thing you know is Fairy's on top of him. Fairy's put it around him. Fairy's put it into his net. 5-3 it is. And Fairy Peak continues to lead.
The delivery of the Canadian trampoline coming through.
Oh, that's another one by Fairy, surely. No left with a huge save. Great recovery by Lethamyr. He needs, I think, to keep this goal lead. At most 2 goals. 3-goal Fairy Peak can be scary. Maybe only Cuxer would be able to come back from that.
Well, he certainly tried earlier on, didn't he?
Given the 5-goal comeback that he almost made.
That is actually a very interesting point you bring up as well. The fact that Fairy Peak did struggle towards the latter end of his previous matchup. Lethamyr knows that just as well as everyone else does in this tournament, and he will try and take that to his advantage.
Oh, it's just masterful from Fairy, though. Wasting enough time to let the boost respawn, and then he grabs it.
I mean, what good options are you for there as well if you're Lethamyr? You're in the corner. Fairy Peak's got everything covered. All you can really do is smash the board and hope Fairy Peak does something stupid.
Fairy Peak's just running down the clock so well. This is something Lethamyr loves to do to his opponents. Now he's getting to taste his own medicine. Fairy Peak has run the clock down to 45 seconds. Lethamyr looking for the outplay. Not quite able to find it, but he's going to get a boost steal. Maybe able to get additional dooms, or not dooms, say the doomsday dishes. Fairy has gone for a great back wall bump there.
And that should be yet another goal, but unfortunately he didn't have the boost for it. Lethamyr sticking around. He needs a goal and he needs it quickly. But Fairy Peak is not committing to anything. He is just leeching away towards this ball, refusing to give any space, but a poor touch from Fairy Peak is going to offer Lethamyr some space to try and cause a goal.
15 seconds, it's now or never. For the Canadian, Lethamyr has to score, and he's going to score! Fairy Peak was close, but not close enough. Lethamyr left it late, but he managed to find the angle.
10 seconds, 1 goal. Lethamyr must find it. This kickoff has to go in his favor if he is to have any chance of trying to knock this into an overtime matchup. Has he got it? No, Fairy Peak plays that very well and kills it in the middle of the field.
And he's working towards his own goal, but no, that bump from Lethamyr causing some problems. He's got absolutely no boost, though. It's going to be so hard, and again, Fairy Peak shuts him down. Any hope of a 0-second play is gone, and Fairy Peak again advances by a single goal.
Fairy Peak has continued his run all the way from the pit with an air of professionalism and confidence, which is beginning to seem unstoppable. Can he do this one more time? We will find out shortly. But first, we have the second to last match of the tournament. In which we find Flores, the newcomer, who fought through several difficult opponents to get to this point, and is now pitted against Scrub Killer, last year's champion, and his greatest challenge yet.
Fairy Peak awaits in our grand finals, but it is now time for us to find out who he will be facing. Flores against Scrub Killer. Scrub Killer against the Crossbar. And unfortunately for him, the Crossbar wins.
He comes out on top against the Crossbar on occasion, like you say. But this is a matchup where Scrub has won many times in the past, and he's going to get off to a great start. Flores wanting Scrub to back off, but we all know that is not how Scrub likes to play, and an early turn is going to give him an early lead. 1-0 Scrub. This is already terrible for Flores, who will need to stay close. I really think that the Flores and of course earlier in the tournament, Ocelon as well, two biggest underdogs, they need to stay close. If they let a big gap open up, they just don't have that experience to draw upon, like we saw from Kux almost closing it with Fairy.
I have a feeling that last match might also play into this one as well, as Flores was taking on K-Dop. And that was more of a long-distance style of play. K-Dop not necessarily going to go for dribbles every 2 seconds. So he was able to give K-Dop a little bit more room, but Scrub Killer will love to just attach that ball next to him and challenge every single time Flores feels like he's got any sort of control. Scrub launching the ball up high now. It's time to steal boost away. You're going to force Flores into a little bit of a decision here. Challenge or go back. Flores is on pretty much empty as he tries to take on the oncoming dribble, and there is Scrub. That flick not good enough.
The flicks really haven't looked too good this tournament. Shot from Flores is going to be on target, I think, and then it's going to creep in. That's a tie game. Scrub out the game, and his lead is all but gone.
When your control is good, it's good. When your control is bad, Flores comes and takes it away from you and puts in a goal to tie this game up. Much needed one as well. As we said, Flores, one of the more unexperienced players we have in this tournament. Scrub Killer, a previous winner of the 12 Titans. And I would like to also say, and I think you'd agree with me, one of the best single game players we have around. So quick to adapt.
Oh yeah. Always willing to change up his playstyle if he thinks it's necessary, even mid-game. Flores, although he's never won a series against Scrub, he has won games against Scrub, but he has yet to find accuracy with his flicks. Again, drops the ball in front of himself, and Scrub Kill is going to say thank you very much. I'll have my lead right back, thank you.
Just need to do that a little bit more. And this is a matchup, Johnny, where both players have been so heavily influenced by one name in particular, Marky Duda. Scrub Killer, obviously, great friends with the old world champion, and as well, Flores has so much of his game style dictated by the way that Marky used to play. Only one of them can move on.
Of course, he's able to use his weapons against the man who taught him how to play, eliminating Marky in the first round. But now he's got to take out another Scotsman, and Scrub is making it very difficult. That is not the fastest shot, though, and Flores, oh, he almost got back, but just lets it creep in. Scrub doubles his lead.
Yeah, Flores is just not sticking close enough. Whenever he tries to go in, Scrub Killer's already set himself up for a much better challenge. Just feel like Flores needs to try and catch Scrub Killer on his first touch rather than the 5th touch, where Scrub Killer's had time to just set himself down and get himself an advantage in terms of positioning.
And it's now Flores' turn to try and find another
Have a
attack.
bad
But
flick.
again, the flick fails. Gets it to him on the exit, and that is key. Remember last time he failed a flick, Scrub just picked up the counter-attack goal. At least now Flores has given himself another chance.
Let's see if he can force a challenge. Scrub Killer just gets tackled a little bit, but goes straight underneath. Now Scrub Killer will be first to this ball, but can he get it before it gets towards the wall? Nope. Choosing instead to back off, steal boost away, and Flores on 35 needs to make every single bit of that boost count. And Scrub Killer comes in, takes the ball away,
Good shot.
and adds yet another goal.
Flores, he tried to dodge early to catch up with this one, but Scrub is just playing a little bit too quick. Great recovery and good accuracy as well. 4-1 is looking all too similar for Flores to how his games usually go against Scrub. And he's got to do something, and he's got to do it soon.
Scrub winning the kickoff should take control of the boost. Flores forced to retreat all the way back. This has been where Scrub has done so well for his entire game. That adds yet another one. Scrub Killer, as soon as he gets even a small amount of space, is making use of it, and he is destroying Flores on the defense.
Good hook shot. You see the speed that the ball comes in there. Flores just not ready for it. Perhaps expecting Scrub to take another touch, come a little bit closer like he has been doing. But now with more than half the game gone, the gap is just continuing to widen. Scrub Killer continuing to win kickoffs. Got to remember, Flores won the vast majority of kickoffs against K-Dop. It's been a different story here versus the former champion. It's been Flores in defense. That, though, is a great save and shot from distance.
Just caught it perfectly. Managed to set it right up for another shot. 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining with 3 goals as the difference. Flores.
Very doable.
Yeah, but would
Very
like
doable.
the look of it. And Scrub Killer is now in a position where he's got to keep himself calm.
Yeah, he's
If
gotta
he can
stay
keep
close.
mauling Flores like he has been for the majority of this game, then he should be fine. But whether or not he's got the mental fortitude to keep that going is an entirely different matter.
I really think Flores has got to change up his kickoff. What he's doing right now is not quite working. He's been on the back foot this whole game. And a player who loves to attack, who loves to pressure, who loves to play quickly and put the pressure on his opponent, he's just not been able to do that. He's playing Scrub's game, and that's just credit to Scrub for making him do that, for winning every kickoff. And when he gets his hand on the ball, he's making it so difficult for Flores to get it back from him.
Flores just chasing after Scrub right now. But in the same
might
way as
be
he
a
has
chance,
been for
though.
the entirety of this game, Scrub is just that one step ahead. Flores taking his time, 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. He'll try and go around Scrub, but once again, Scrub not even thinking about going for that ball. Instead, waits, allows Flores to play, and reacts as appropriate. Scrub Killer just king of spacing.
That's
I mean,
good
he's just
job,
sat right there, and it feels like he's about 3 times bigger than he actually is.
Oh, but finally Flores with the flick that has evaded him this game thus far. Great power, and Scrub flipping away there. He did give Flores space. The thing that he's not done up until now this match, he decided to do it here. Thinking, okay, it's okay, Flores' flicks haven't been too good, I'll back off, but now he's going to regret that. Flores puts one past him, 2 goals in it, and another kickoff. Doesn't look like Scrub continues to find the pressure. And whoa, what a shot by Scrub! Almost going in high over Flores. With almost no momentum, he's able to generate so much power there.
Who's going to land first? Scrub Killer all the way down. He's going to try and
Oh,
go
it's Flores.
chasing after Flores, but he
He's
will not
done
get
it.
there in time. 1 goal now, 47 seconds remaining. Scrub Killer needs to halt the bleeding.
And Flores, you've got to give this guy so much credit. The biggest tournament he's ever played in by far. Most money he's ever played in for by far. And definitely the most difficult player for him. Scrub Killer is his kryptonite. Losing 5-2 with more than half the game gone. Then he manages to find 2 goals to bring it back within 1. What is going to happen next though? What a save by Flores! Scrub Killer still though in attack, making it so difficult. It's off the inside of the post. Flores early dodges, gonna be able to somehow put the ball to the side. This is incredible defense by Flores.
Needs
I
boost
don't
from
know
somewhere,
how
though.
he's keeping this safe.
He's got to get some boosts.
Oh my
Scrub
goodness.
Killer is controlling not only the major boosts, but the small ones as well.
18 seconds. Scrub Killer still not able to
Still
score.
round. This game should be over right now. Scrub should have a 2nd goal in, but Flores refusing to go away. Scrub keeps going left to right, though, taking everything. And he's just going to keep that pressure.
Flores!
And Flores with an unfortunate own goal. He tried everything, but eventually Scrub Killer makes him crack.
Scrub Killer's shot was not good there. We have to say Scrub Killer really dropped it a little bit soon, a little bit low, but Flores, he went for the control. He was trying to catch it really, really quickly, and just at the last second, he did choke it. But it is the defending champion Scrub who will be the benefactor of Flores' last-minute misplay, and he is going to move on to the grand final.
Last year's champion has defeated the promising newcomer with a formidable performance. He now stands at 5 wins and 0 losses in his time as a Titan, which says just as much about the level of his skill as it does about the strength of his mind. But none of that matters this time around if he cannot finish what he has started. And so, here we are once more. The final match of the 12 Titans. It is here that we will find out who will walk away with everything, and who will come so close, yet walk away with nothing. Fairy Peak. Although new to this tournament, his journey all the way from the first round should be surprising to no one. He has proven himself as a world-class competitor time and time again on the world stage, and has used that experience to dominate his opponents in this tournament. I have personally watched him play, and must say that his level of calm in these situations is unsettling. He is more than prepared for this match. Scrub Killer, the champion of last year's tournament. He has demonstrated firsthand that he has what it takes to win this match. However, nothing lasts forever, and new challengers are always working hard to disrupt the old ways. Can he hold up once more and solidify his place in the history of this sport? It's time to find out.
The biggest individual game of 1v1 Rocket League ever played. Johnny Boy, it is going to be Scrub Killer versus Fairy Peak in our grand finals.
I couldn't think of two more deserving players. A player who really established himself as the best ones player ever against a player who has really proven himself maybe the best player against that same man. But Scrub off to a phenomenal start. Great strikes from left and then from the right. Just as accurate from both sides. What a peach from Scrub to get things started.
Scrub Killer, last year's 12 Titans Grand Champion. He's going to look to try and do it yet again with a great start there, smashing the ball straight through, taking the lead. Scrub Killer's definitely been the more comfortable player heading through this tournament, but Fairy Peak, he is comfortable with shooting like that. What a great shot to bring himself back into this match.
On the volley as well. Full volley there, making it look easy. Fairy Peak ties this up. It's interesting to note that Scrub feels confident on kickoffs versus the Batmobile, but Fairy won that one and he won it hard. And he's won another one as well. That's going to shake Scrub a little bit. So now Fairy is in the control seat, missing far of the post, giving Scrub another chance to get in the lead, and he's going to take it. Flicks it over Fairy. Read that early challenge well.
Who is going to be the first player here to take their foot off the gas? This has been just million miles an hour. Everyone challenged for everything. We have resulted in 3 goals, and we're not even a minute down in this match. Scrub Killer taking the lead yet again. We're going to have to be looking at this kickoff once again, and this time Scrub Killer comes out on top, and he's going to sneak the ball through. 2-goal lead.
That's the difference in the last 2 attacks that have happened. Fairy Peak missing his opportunities to score after winning a kickoff. Scrub Killer does not make the same mistake. He's up by 2 now. Fairy Peak, although he's had a couple of moments where he's trailing, it's been mostly him in the lead trying to hold on to it. How is he going to do trying to come back against the best 1v1 player of all time, the defending 12 Titans champion from year 1, with $10,000 on the line?
This is the first time we've really seen the gameplay slow down. Scrub Killer taking his time, allows Fairy Peak to misplay, and then lashes a ball into the net. 4-1 to Scrub Killer, and the first minute is only just coming to an end.
Scrub Killer, he read that. Bad hit by Fairy, was faded away. See how scared Fairy is of giving Scrub space. He turns there a little bit uncomfortably, and he gets punished for it. Even a player like Fairy has his limits, and he's got to know them, and he's got to try not to fall and make misplays. Scrub is going to punish those so easily.
First template ball pass. Scrub Killer, though, gets contact, gets boost, and now he's got plenty of time to try and force yet another play. Going to do by launching the ball, seeing if Fairy Peak will make a mistake, but a pinch against the backboard will result in Scrub Killer simply getting the ball immediately handed back. Once again, pacing and spacing on point for Scrub Killer.
And he's just doing exactly what he's done all tournament long. He's just running rings around his opponent. He did this to Cronovi, he did this to Flores, and even Fairy. Oh, that might be an own goal. It is!
Fairy Peak, you need to take yourself a big old sigh and breathe it in, because that was so lucky. He misplayed the shot. And he's going down to the side. Scrub Killer's just going to be screaming.
That is incredible. Scrub is trying to get back and just do something, look for a challenge or a save, but it doesn't work out. But look at that.
Two.
And maybe foreshadowed it, saying Scrub's comfortable against the Batmobile and kickoffs. That's his second kickoff goal. He's doing phenomenally well with the only set piece in the game. He's not letting the stage, he's not letting the prize money get to his nerves at all. Scrub maybe has even more to win here than Fairy, despite the fact that he has been the best player in 1v1 history. Fairy would technically be making an upset by getting the W. It is Scrub who's been prevented from showing the world how good he is. Just waiting for this day to come, waiting to be old enough. Oh my goodness, he's going to have to wait a bit longer as another one goes wide. And that is just so fortunate for Fairy. He's hanging on, but how long can he hang on for? 6-2 Scrub, just over 2 minutes into the game. And you asked who's going to let off the gas. It's not going to be this young man.
Yeah, you did indeed say that he was going to have to wait a little while longer. Turned out a little while longer. It was only 5 more seconds as he forced the ball around Fairy Peak yet again. And this is just incredible. With all the pressure, with all the money, with all the lights, Scrub Killer plays it like he plays a regular old ranked game. Calm, composed, and utterly dominant.
Fairy Peak not looking threatening from the near post. He's getting into that part of the game where he has to score with every chance because Scrub is doing exactly that. And with Scrub Killer taking every opportunity, you can't miss if you're Fairy Peak. You can't just give him the ball.
Is the big problem when you take on Scrub Killer. We saw it last year with the Chinio. We saw it in the semi-finals, and we're seeing it right now. The moment Scrub Killer gets even a small lead, he is so good at stretching every single desperate mistake that you make and causing goal after goal to go in. But Fairy Peak slams it in.
That was a mind game and a half from Fairy. He's looking to fake the hook shot, comes right across the face of the ball and somehow puts it in the bottom corner closest to him. Scrub Killer last second trying to get the save, but not quite close enough. Great shot selection by the Frenchman.
And Fairy has scored every single shot he's taken so far. The big problem for him has been he's not getting that many shots. But a big kickoff win offers hope.
Another one, just like you said, he scored every shot that he's taken. Make it 4 for 4. Scrub 7 for 11 is still a good ratio. And he still has that lead, but 1v1 not just important to look at the score, it's also important to look at the time, and there is plenty of time left in this game. Scrub Killer must be feeling nervous already. Oh my goodness, is that going to go in? Fairy getting punished for the backflip by Scrub's dunk. I did not see this one coming.
Yeah, both these players feel like they could win, but Scrub Killer, second touch from him, means that he was always going to win the ball and does push it straight into his opponent's net. So a 4-goal lead re-established. 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. Fairy Peak, he's showing glimpses of life, but Scrub Killer will happily try and force that out. But once again, Fairy Peak, he holds on and he's still in this.
4 goals with how highly scored this game has been is not the biggest lead, and now Fairy is starting to equal Scrub's speed. That's twice in a row now that he matches Scrub's speed, and he's up for the rebound. Slaps it off the bar. What a save by Scrub. I think he got a piece of it. And now Fairy coming back to try and do the same thing. The ball is just doing rings around the pitch as both these players shadow masterfully, trying to stop each other from scoring.
That's going to be Fairy Peak. He's got the shot available. Goes off the post, goes off the other post, and goes everywhere except for in as Scrub Killer takes control of the ball yet again. Flick is not very good, but he does take out his opponent. And he's got time to waste. The ball in his possession and boost to control.
Oh, that is just a huge moment. Fairy Peak had the open net, hits the inside of the post, and now the ball has gone to safety and gone into his opponent's control. And we've seen Scrub do this before. He's running down the clock. It could have been a 3-goal game with well over a minute remaining, and instead it's a 4-goal game with just a minute remaining. Make it 3 though. Fairy, good turnaround. If anybody's going to play the time right, it will be this man. He's not going to sit back and let Scrub run down the clock all the way to 0.
Yeah, Scrub mistouched the ball on his way down. The unfortunate thing, whenever you've got that ball slow played on your own backboard, is there's only one way to push it out, and that is directly into your awaiting opponent. Scrub's landing just simply was not good enough. Now Fairy Peak, he's going to push this down to 2. And with 54 seconds remaining, Johnny boy, this is looking more and more tangible.
This is going to be the longest 54 seconds of Scrub's life. He's now hanging on. He's gone from being in the driver's seat, being in full control of his own destiny, his own destination. And now Fairy Peak has thrown him out of the car. He's trying to take over. It's so key that Fairy Peak keeps on making these clutch saves. And he's bumped Scrub once, bumped him twice, gets the turnaround. Has full boost, gets the ball just about past him. What a save by Scrub. Just redirecting it wide, but Fairy is turning so aggressively. This is not what Scrub is expecting. 33 seconds. He needs to find 2 chances to take them. He's up for the rebound. Puts it in!
It's happening.
Fairy Peak is within 1.
It's actually happening. Fairy Peak making such good use of that demolish. The ball wasn't even close enough for him to immediately go for a shot, so instead knows exactly how much boost Scrub Killer's got, and how much boost did he have? Not enough to go and challenge for that ball. 28 seconds now, and it is all 1 goal separated.
22 seconds. I'm just going to keep counting down this time, as we know all Scrub is doing in his head. He has not hit the ball well there. Very good first touch. Looks to rip one, but again a miss hit. Both these guys are choking at the last second. 10 of those remain. Fairy Peak again coming in, but this time fakes it. He needs to get his hands on the ball, but it's not going to happen. Scrub Killer takes it. With 3 seconds left, he's up by 2. That might be it, Shogun.
Incredible. Scrub Killer kept his calm. He didn't rush in for the initial challenge. And with that goal, I think we can all say it together. 2017-2018, Scrub Killer will win 12 Titans yet again.
And he will win with the ball going past Fairy. Fairy tried the slow kickoff. It's not going to work. There's only one winner. He's already stopped to celebrate. We got Fairy keeping it up, but Scrub Killer is your 12th Titans Year 2 champion.
To win this tournament once is nothing short of incredible. To win this tournament twice, and to be the only winner that it has ever had, demonstrates a will to win that goes beyond talent and says more about the competitive heart of a player. This will be remembered for a long time. Congratulations, Scrub Killer. You are the last one standing, and the champion of the 12 Titans.